After a 2-2 series tie between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets, it was Game 5 where the Nuggets had a 9-point lead in the fourth quarter. But however, the Nuggets squandered that lead, and the Thunder would take Game 5 after catching fire with a three-pointer late in the fourth quarter. But in Game 6, the Nuggets would handle the Thunder, forcing a Game 7. Interestingly, in shared history with Seattle, the last time these two teams met in a decisive game in the playoffs was 1994.
Matumbo embraces the ball and the unlikely upset.
Could shared history repeat itself, or will the Thunder continue their youthful run to the NBA Finals? The winner goes to the Western Conference Finals. Game 7, next.
This is the NBA on NBC.
Well, it's a little bit different. I decided to change it up. Usually I do Mariners games, but this time I'm going to do Game 7 between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets. Welcome to NBA basketball. This is the Rooftop Sports. You know me as a Seattle Supersonics fans, but this time I'm going to check out some NBA basketball. So be aware, I may not know all these players' names. Like for Denver, I know of Jamal Murray, Russell Westbrook, Nikola Jokic, Michael Porter Jr., who was on my fantasy basketball team. And as for the Oklahoma City Thunder, the players I really know are the two Jalen Williams, Alex Caruso, and, man, who else? Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren's another big deal on that team. He was the number 2 overall pick a few years ago. But now it is the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets. They are playing on a decisive 7 games. This is the decisive Game 7. And in shared history between Seattle and Oklahoma, which is legally a thing, the last time these two teams met in a decisive playoff game, it was in 1994 when Dikembe Mutombo, yes, that's right, when Dikembe Mutombo led the Denver Nuggets to a huge upset. And let me show you that really quick clip of how that game went. So yeah, there's some little bit of history. Yeah, shared history. So here's the thing, like Clay Bennett, as much as you have the history, you legally own the history of shared history. Here's the thing. You also own the history where the Denver Nuggets were the first team to upset your supposedly basketball team. So you own that. So you can have it. And then let's say if Seattle were to buy out the name and the history, you can have the Denver upset portion of it. And here is that 1-minute video of how that upset went. The video is processing and it's loading in just a few moments. I will show it to you in a moment, as the game is actually going to start in 1 minute, as I got to make sure I have my streaming ready for it. And it's taking forever for it to load. So do bear with me. And it's taking forever. Oh, looks like I got the game ready. It is coming right up. And I must say, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they are in Oklahoma, so this is going to be a home court advantage situation. And now here is the video. With the Sonics and Nuggets squaring off for a decisive Game 5, all the pressure was on the Sonics, because if they lose this game, they would become the first top-seeded team in NBA history to lose to a number 8 seed. The game would remain as a standstill, with the Nuggets answering everything the Sonics scored on them. Later in the fourth quarter, with seconds left, the Nuggets held a 2-point lead, and the Sonics would tie the game, forcing overtime. The Sonics had a chance to put the Nuggets away in overtime, but the Nuggets would outplay them, and they would win the game and the series as the first 8 seed to defeat a number 1 seed in NBA history.
Matumbo embraces the ball and the unlikely upset, one of the great upsets in NBA playoff history.
Oh, and looks like I got $1 already. Looks like I'm off to a pretty good start. But yeah, that's the goal for today, is get to $50. That's the goal. And other fun things I've got, I'm going to show off some Sonics memorabilia. I'm going to also show off some, I'm going to also stream one of my video games that I played when I was a kid. I'm trying to get the phone to connect, but it's just not connecting at the moment, which is pretty frustrating. So it looks like I'm going to have to figure something out if I can even. Yeah, I'm going to try to figure this thing out because I want to show you NBA on NBC on the Dreamcast. That's what I want to do. Do I have a Sonics jersey? All I've got is this. Bring back our Sonics. I used to have a Gary Payton jersey and a Detlef Schrempf jersey, but someone in the family member donated it. So now it's gone. Yeah, I had Gary Payton and Detlef Schrempf. I do still have those Sonic shorts, though. But that's about it. Yeah, so, you know what? Maybe I'll just start off by showing off what I have. I'll show you here's my Sean Kemp action figure. He signed it. Yeah, he's going for a dunk. So there's one. That's one of the few that I do have. And I'm trying to load up my game. And the game should be starting. Yeah, they say it starts at 12:30. And they're talking about Aaron Gordon, who has been one of the contributors for the playoffs. He did hit that buzzer beater against the Clippers to tie the series. And, yep, looks like and also I'm expecting to possibly have Steve on my show as well. So he'll have some input on this game, even though that both of us haven't really watched as much NBA. I mean, surprisingly, I actually continued watching the NBA for for a whole nother decade. And then the game just fell, and the game quality just went down. And they're talking to Lisa Salters. Oh, and they're talking about Aaron Gordon, that he is going to play through some kind of injury. Unfortunately, that is what he has right now after he had that collision with Alex Caruso, one of the top premier defensive players. Trying to figure something out. I also have some other Sonics clips as well. I gotta get this thing ready by halftime, though. Having some technical difficulties with my phone because that's what I'm trying to stream. And let's see if they have the starting lineups for us. I guess they don't. This thing's kind of weird. But in season leaders, in points, it was Nikola Jokic with nearly 30 points a game. For the Thunder, it was Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And the interesting thing about Alexander is the core player of this team. He, must I say, he was through trade for the Paul George trade and also like 5 first-round picks. Yeah, someone got screwed over in that. And Hartenstein is their center, it looks like. He has 10.7 rebounds. Also, don't forget about Chet Holmgren, one of their best players on that team. You're talking about Game 6 that Denver basically handled Oklahoma throughout the game. But now it's about Game 7. And again, last time that these two teams met in history, shared history technically, the last time they were together in a decisive game was Game 5 of 1994 playoffs when the Seattle Supersonics, they had the #1 seed. They were the favorite to win the NBA championship alongside the New York Knicks. And then what happened? The Sonics lost. And I might as well... Oh, looks like no, there's no game's not about to start quite yet. I wonder if the game has started by now. You would think that has started by now, but they're doing just some pregame things. So maybe I'll show you some of the highlights from that series. if I do have it. There it is. And the file was too big, so that's not going to work. They're very selective on what I could use. Wow, looks like it's not even letting me. I'm trying to figure this thing out, but this phone link thing is just not working. And they're showing Game 6 highlights still. So right now, Oklahoma is the heavy favorite to win. They're at 56-44 in terms of the favorites. And just bear with me throughout this play, throughout these, how should I say it? My play-by-play might be a little bit funky because this is like maybe my second NBA game that I have done. I think this is really my first NBA game that I have really done. So it's going to be it's going to be a steep learning curve for me, even though I've watched basketball for years, but I haven't really watched legitimate NBA basketball for years because quality of the game went down. But when you have Oklahoma deep in the playoffs, of course that gets your attention. That's the sad part. I'm going to have to reset my phone. Interestingly, the game hasn't even started yet. Yeah, it's supposed to start like right now. And here's also my Seattle Supersonics hat signed by the great Sean Kemp. Kind of felt bad for asking him because I had already got his autograph for this. And I was like, oh yeah, sign my hat as well. I'm like, come on, man. Don't be such a pesterer. And looks like here it is. Nuggets starters. We got Jamal Murray, Christian Braun, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic. And then for the Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We got Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and then Isaiah Hartenstein. So this is Oklahoma City donning in their blue jerseys, while we've got the Denver Nuggets in their whites. Denver Nuggets were the defending champions, and the Oklahoma City Thunder have yet to win a championship. But if you want to get all shared history technical, the Seattle Supersonics was what won in 1979. But if it's Oklahoma in their own history, they have yet to win an NBA championship. They did go to the NBA Finals with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden, but they were stopped by LeBron James and the Miami Heat. And if the Thunder do reach the Western Conference Finals, it will be their first appearance since 2016 when they had Durant and Westbrook arguably in their primes. Scott Foster, 31st season as an NBA referee. And here is the tip-off, and we are underway as Denver has received the ball. And now it's number 0. It's passing it off to Nikola Jokic. He then gives it to Porter. There is a screen going on. Jamal Murray with the ball. Now he gives it to Jokic, their big guy. He's trying to post up. Nearly loses the ball to Hartenstein. Now he's trying to post up again. Going up against Holmgren. Nice pass. And that is the first basket for Denver as they have gotten on the board to make it 2-0. And although, should also be aware that this is going to be a very long basketball game. Here's Jalen Williams over to Chet Holmgren, their number 2 overall pick. Screen has been set by their center. And we got Jalen Williams goes down low, and there's going to be a foul right down low as Aaron Gordon has been charged with the foul. And the chant of OKC, the very loud chant. Fans are in their blue shirts. As we got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander passes off to Holmgren. He was faking a 3. He's trying to actually go to the rim, and now he goes in, and he scores, and that's going to make it 2-2. Game tied. Now the point is going to be Jokic, and yep, don't shoot that 3. Screen set by Jokic, and here's 0. Goes in for the dunk, and what a nice jam. That was their shooting guard who makes the jam. I'd like to see who that guy was. It looks like that was Braun with the big dunk. And now here's Jalen Williams passing it over to Holmgren. That was a huge dunk. And now Williams, he's going, and he goes, and putback slam by the center. And now it's tied at 4-4. This has been a seesaw game so far. Chant of defense. Now here's Braun. Gets the screen, and now he's faking the 3. Now it goes to Jokic. He's posting, and he gets right in there. Just went right through Chet Holmgren, and now it's 6-4 Denver. Now we got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander over to Jalen Williams at the top. He's going for the 3 wide open, and that is way off. That is just off. And now Aaron Gordon with the rebound. He drives up the ball. He's slowing it down for a moment. Now here's Jokic getting the screen by Jamal Murray, which he should, and going for the pick and roll. And Grant goes right over the Braun for 3, and that is going to miss. And the rebound by Porter, and he gets it in to make it 8-4. And looks like timeout may have been called by Oklahoma as the Denver Nuggets are off to a very quick start, making it 8-4. Although I will say, I think Jamal Murray should have went for the rim, but he wanted to go for that 3-pointer. And then got the putback by Michael Porter Jr. It was a very good sequence by the Denver Nuggets. I got the screen fixed, so now I can finally play my NBA on NBC. Also, the preview for the Eastern Conference Finals between the Indiana Pacers and, it's Indiana Pacers. What's the other team I'm thinking of? And the New York Knicks. How could I forget that team? It's going to be very interesting. If it's the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves in shared history, the last time that those teams met was in 1998 first-round playoffs. And then, of course, for the Knicks and the Pacers, the last time they met in the Eastern Conference Finals was when Patrick Ewing was on the Knicks and Reggie Miller was on the Indiana Pacers. So far, Denver is off to a pretty good start. Been pretty impressed by them. And at halftime, I'm going to show the Dikembe Mutombo video. And then during commercial break, periodically, you'll see me playing some NBA Jam. Yeah, might as well play. Oh, here's also the. Oh wait, I can't play that first round thing. Here's SeatGeek. SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RoofTopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. Yeah, that's Braun. Braun's been off to a good start. He's their shooting guard. In the regular season, he scored 16 points a game. Points per game against Oklahoma has been 18 points. So he's been one of the rising stars, especially when he's able to go straight to the rim. It was very impressive. And that's like, now we are back from the break as Oklahoma takes up the ball as they are down 8-4. Pretty good start for Denver so far. And now we got Jalen Williams, who is going up to the left, and now he's going to shoot it off to Gilgeous-Alexander. Thought of the three, now going for the fader, and that goes in. And Gilgeous-Alexander is one of the pure shooters of the league. He is their point guard of the team. And we got Braun. It's like no substitutions has been done quite yet. And some screens are going to be needed. He's getting heavily defended by Chet Holmgren, who's very versatile. Screened by Nikola Jokic. Here's Jamal Murray. Over to Braun. He's going close to the rim, but he's getting stopped by Williams so far. He's going for the three, and that goes in. A three-pointer for Braun, and he is absolutely on fire. Now it's 11-6, and already to the rim as Oklahoma answers to make it 11-8. This has been a very fast-paced game so far. And as soon as Steve gets here, I will show him the NBA on NBC Showtime on my Dreamcast. And now we got Nikola Jokic. He is passing it off to Jamal Murray, and he has a pretty clear open rim. And that is, I think that was blocked by Holmgren. Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander, who is racing up the court, giving up to Dort for three, and that is going to miss. And Aaron Gordon tips the rebound, gives it to Braun, and Braun's racing to the rim, going to pass to Jokic, and Jokic gets his own rebound, and he is fouled. Now it's 11-8 Oklahoma, and I must say that this has actually been a pretty exciting game so far. A lot of good ball movement going on both teams. Aaron Gordon has been contributing well with the rebounds, and now it's the free throws, and now here it is, and he makes it, and that's going to be 12-8. Denver Nuggets lead. Now we're at 12-8 Denver. Nikola Jokic getting his second free throw. He's got to make this one. And he does. Two easy free throws by Nikola Jokic. Big men making the free throws. Gilgeous-Alexander gets the screen. Now here's Holmgren for three and misses, and Gordon gets the rebound. That's another rebound for Aaron Gordon. Now here's Braun, the X factor for the team. He's trying to get that screen from Jokic, kind of was. Now he has it up the court, gives it to Jamal Murray, who's getting into some trouble. And now he kicks it off to Braun, and he's going to shoot a three, and that misses. And here's Porter with the rebound. Don't shoot that three. Take your time. Now here's Porter again. He's getting on one-on-one by their center, by Oklahoma center. Here's Braun, heavily defended by Gilgeous-Alexander. And now here's Jokic, who needs some help, and he gets fouled. Denver doing an excellent job of drawing the fouls already, and I think that may have been a shooting foul, as Nikola Jokic may get two shots at the line. Now I need a piece of paper and a pen. Yeah, Jokic looks like he was trying to throw up a shot. Very wise decision. I gotta get a piece of paper and a pen. use a Sharpie. And now here is Jokic at the line. 2 free throws, and now he throws it up, and he makes another one to make it 14-8. And Denver is absolutely firing on all cylinders so far. Now it's 14-8 Denver. Just remember the last time these two teams met in decisive games, another free throw, and he misses. And now that's going to be a rebound. That's going to go up to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, their point guard, now to Jalen Williams. And now they're just moving the ball around, and he throws up a shot, and that he thought he was fouled. And now here's Jamal Murray. They have some opportunity. Here's Aaron Gordon. And please don't shoot that three. And now Aaron Gordon shoots the three, and he misses. Of course you're not going to make that. Do some more. Get some more passes in there. He had plenty of time. Now here's Alexander and the alley-oop, and he misses the point-blank shot. And now here's a three-point attempt and misses again. And now who's the ball going to? It goes to Denver, and the fans are obviously not going to be happy about that one. Even with a 14-point lead, Denver, the Thunder are still favored to win this game here in Game 7. And now here's Michael Porter Jr. with a fadeaway. Kind of rushed the shot, but Aaron Gordon keeps it alive. He's trying to kick it out, and Oklahoma gets the ball back anyway. That is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He gets up to the ball. He's being defended by Murray. And now here is ball movement by Oklahoma, and now he's going to the rim, and he misses again, and Aaron Gordon with another rebound. Wonder how many rebounds that he has so far right now. Aaron Gordon with 5 rebounds, excuse me. Now here is Jokic. Chant of defense. Now here's Braun, who's been on fire. Now here's Jokic, and he draws another foul. And now he's just going to keep going to the rim. That's what I like about Jokic, the big man, trying to draw fouls, get to the free throw line, get Oklahoma into foul trouble. Right now, Dort has 2 personal fouls he was on the court. Michael Porter has 1 foul so far, and that is Hartenstein that had a foul. Now here is Jokic, and he makes that free throw. He did miss one previously, but he makes up for that one. It's now 15-8 Denver Nuggets. They are off to a very good start. Aaron Gordon hanging out there in the back. He's been contributing very well with 5 rebounds already in the first quarter. 15-8. And now here's the other free throw, and he makes it in. That's going to make it 16-8. Oklahoma is kind of trailing at the moment. They're off to a very slow start. And here's Oklahoma. Here's Caruso, who just checked in for defensive purposes. Now here's Hartenstein, and over to Caruso for 3, and he misses. And Jokic gets the rebound, and he is driving up the court. Oklahoma is very much struggling in this game. And here's Jokic, and now here's Braun, and he makes another basket. He has been on fire. He is just a hustler. Here is Caruso trying to do it by himself, trying to auto-control basketball. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander, their best player. Now here's Alexander, who gets it to the rim. Very easy bucket for Gilgeous-Alexander. Such a pure scorer he is. And now here's Jokic over to Aaron Gordon. Gets the easy basket, and that should go in, and that is going to count. And the foul. He's going to the line for one more free throw. 10-point lead for Denver. Gordon is going to the line. Now it's 20-10 Denver. Could make it 21. As Aaron Gordon shoots up the free throw, and he makes it to make it 21-10. Oklahoma struggling, but remember, it's just early, so still plenty of game left. Now here's Holmgren. He was thinking about the 3, doesn't do it, kicks it off to Williams, and he will. Oh, and a steal by Jamal Murray. A lot of turnovers for Oklahoma, and now it's going to the left side, being defended by Caruso, showing really good defense. Someone's got to help him. Where's the screen? And he loses the ball. Looks like it was an offensive foul or traveling, and that was mostly done by Alex Caruso. That's like, where was the help? there was not much help at all. Like, everyone was just standing around, did not like that at all. Like, get some other guys open. OKC chant still going on. Here's Alexander. They're taking their time this time. Gets it off to Caruso, who's been playing well defensively. He's needs some help. And now here's the shot by 22. He misses again, and Oklahoma is not making their three-pointers at all. They have missed every single one of them thus far. Now here's Aaron Gordon, gets the screen by Jokic, but he's not going the other direction. Now Oklahoma's defense is starting to get a little bit better, and timeout has been called by Denver. They want to make some adjustments because there has been some notable defensive adjustments by Oklahoma. And now we go into commercial break. They're still showing advertisements for all the soccer leagues. Senor, tell me how you make a thin crust Sahara pizza.
With your hands. Cornmeal.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May.
And that's how you make a Sahara pizza. Beautiful thing.
Commercial break is still ongoing. Now they're showing the Thunder Girls dancing. Y'all. Denver did take the timeout, and this is a pretty long timeout, if you ask me. Aaron Gordon has been contributing very well so far. He has 3 points and 5 rebounds in just 7 minutes of play. He's been very efficient. Right now on the court, we got Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Murray, Braun, and now Westbrook is now checking in, the former Oklahoma City Thunder, a long time. And we got Aaron Wiggins checking in for Jalen Williams. A little bit of changes going on. Looks like Braun's still there. They just replaced Porter. And now here's Jamal Murray. He's going for the fader. He was blocked by Holmgren. I mean, you can't really make that shot against Holmgren. And now here is Gilgeous-Alexander. He's going to shoot it up. Now here's Caruso for 3. Misses. And now Westbrook with the rebound. He's known to rebound. Don't forget about him. He was a Mr. Triple-Double at one point in his career. Here's Westbrook, and he loses the ball, but it's going to be out of bounds, and it's going to be Denver ball. Alex Caruso has been playing well defensively, but hasn't really shown much of his offense at all. He's not expected to because he is more of the defensive force. Now, Westbrook, he's going to pass the ball over to Murray. Not much ball movement going on. Jokic is trying to set the screen. He does. And now here's Murray, gets it down low. And now that's going to be a foul, shooting foul. And now he's going to go to the line. And I believe that was Watson. Watson's going to go to the line as he drew the foul. It was a good pass by Murray. He was able to draw the foul against Holmgren. That's exactly what you want. So it's 21-10. Goes for the free throw, and he misses it. Very much shocking. 21-10 Denver so far. Penny Watson this series hasn't really done much. He's going for another free throw. And he misses again. You can't be missing those because those are going to add up once the game goes along. Gilgeous-Alexander still playing. Kind of gets the screen by 21. And he's trying to go to the rim, and he doesn't. He gets his own rebound. Here's Caruso. Gets the ball. They're trying to reset. And now here's the alley-oop to Holmgren. And that will make it 21-12. Very good passing going on by Oklahoma. Now Jamal Murray gets the ball. He's getting a bit of pushback from Caruso. Going for the three. Here's Braun. Is he going for the three? He's going to go for the three, and he misses. There was just too much time left on the clock to do that. Sure, he was open, but you want to try to get the easy basket. Now there's number 2, Gilgeous-Alexander. Gets over the 21, and that is going to be heavily contested by Nikola Jokic. He runs up the ball, gives it to Westbrook. He points to his right, and now he's going to try to play a little bit of one-on-one basketball. And now he turns the ball over. He turns the ball over again. That's what he's been most known to do. And here's Holmgren, and he misses again, and no foul has been called. Westbrook gets the ball back, and honestly, I don't like Westbrook right now. And now here is Jokic being guarded by Caruso. Here's Westbrook, has a chance, gets out to Braun. Here's Jokic defended by Caruso. He's been causing problems. And Westbrook going for the three. He misses. Shocker. And now rebound. And here's over the 21. And here's the sequence. And that is going to go down for the jam. And Oklahoma cuts it to a 7-point lead. It was a very good defensive sequence. Also, Westbrook, why did you shoot the ball? And screen set by Jokic for Jamal Murray. He's going to try to do it again. Caruso has been playing huge dividends, trying to force really bad shots. Over to Jokic, almost lost the ball. He gets it, and he misses it. And out of bounds, who's it go to? It goes to Oklahoma. Yeah, Westbrook took an ill-advised three-pointer. Jokic couldn't get the rebound, which led to that 2-on-1 for the jam. The chant of OKC, and Alexander misses a shot, and that's going to be a rebound by Watson. Gives it over to Braun. Braun's trying to find some kind of room. Screen set by Jokic. Don't shoot that three. Here's Westbrook. No, not again. Westbrook for three, and he makes it. Westbrook makes the three. Did not expect that to happen, but he makes the three to give it back to a 10-point lead. And another alley-oop to Holmgren. Holmgren's been trying to get open as the best as he could. And now here's Watson again. Screen set by Nikola Jokic for Murray, being heavily defended by Caruso. He is a defensive force. Just look at him. And now he's going to go to the rim, and he makes it to make it a 10-point lead once again for Denver. And now here's 21. Gives over to Denver's just trying to. And now here's Caruso for three, and he makes it. Alex Caruso continues to contribute for Oklahoma City. He has been a major factor. Now Watson gets the screen by Jokic. Here's Braun being defended by Holmgren. Chant of defense. And now Westbrook, don't shoot. Don't do that again. He passes over, and he loses the ball. And a bad turnover by Westbrook. And ever since Westbrook took over, Denver has been struggling. I would just take him out of the game. Westbrook isn't really much of an asset. He's a huge liability on the offensive end. He's not much of a defensive force either. Now here's Alexander. And now he's kind of going to go to the rim. And now here is Holmgren for 3. Misses. And a rebound by number 21. And now Oklahoma makes it into a 5-point deficit. I think that was Wiggins. Wonder if that is Wiggins. Yep, he's number 21. That's him. Now here's Jokic going for a really bad shot, but the quarter was ending. The buzzer has sounded, and that is the end of the first quarter. As you can tell, that was like that's the end of the quarter. That's what you do on the NBA on NBC video game. Senor.
We're making half pineapple, half tiki with barbecue chicken. You put the garlic. Put the pineapple on the whole pizza. Remember, they want half pineapple, and the one is going to be tiki. Tiki with pineapple, garlic, feta cheese, artichoke hearts, and the chicken. And we're gonna spread some barbecue on top. And it's ready. Put it on the oven. Let it run.
Hello, baseball fans. I'm excited to announce that we are still offering 50% off pizza and 25% off bowling Monday and Tuesdays. Head on over to Snoqualmie Sahara Pizza. This deal will go through May. Westbrook has not been contributing well. I can tell you that. Kevin Kirby, Nuggets playing like Mariners can't let bad players like Caruso, but Caruso is an excellent defender. It's been not only Caruso been contributing, but it's also been Russell Westbrook with his turnover-happy habits, something that Oklahoma remembered for years. And remember when Laker fans, when Westbrook was going for a shot, like a three-point shot, fans were screaming no. So Oklahoma has been slowly been getting back into this game as they were down by as much as 11. And at the halftime show, I'm going to show my Dikembe Mutombo video. And again, that's the last time these two teams were faced against each other in a decisive game. Last time it was 1994. If anyone has any memories of the 1994 Sonics versus the Denver Nuggets, please put that in the chat. Come on, Nuggets. It's crazy. Denver's having a tornado right now. Yeah, isn't it crazy? And we are back from the break. They're using ESPN streaming. Now they're talking to Braun. Usually they used to talk to just the coaches, as he is now on the bench as Oklahoma gets the ball. I think Gilgeous-Alexander's still in, and Oklahoma makes another shot to make it down 3-0, making down by 3. And that whole interview thing is just really distracting. Why are they even doing that? Now here is Aaron Gordon, gives it up to number 3, and he loses the ball again. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander, has a good shot to the rim, and he will make that shot, and that is now a 1-point Denver lead. And again, ever since Russell Westbrook came on the court, they've been turning the ball over left and right. Now it's only a 1-point game, and here's Braun He throws it back, and then here's a three-pointer by Watson, and misses, won't go through. It rattled out twice. And now here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Now they have a chance to take the lead, and here's Alexander, and he goes in. Nope. Slapped out by 21. That's Wiggins, and that is going to the rim, and they make it again. And Denver, they have now taken the lead. I think that's their first lead of the game. And Oklahoma and Denver is just failing to respond. And I think that was a foul, too. Yep, that was an and one. Jalen Williams makes the shot, and now he has a chance for a three-point play. Jalen Williams now has 4 points. Gonna make it point number 5 for him. It's now 27-26, and he misses the free throw. It's a little bit of breathing life for Denver. Needs some screens going on. There's no screens. And he finally gets it for Jamal Murray. And a lot of standing around. Not enough ball movement at all. No one's really moving around. That's number 3 over to Westbrook. And they turned the ball over again. Miscommunication. And I'm telling you, Denver, get Westbrook out of the game. He has been an absolute liability for Denver. Off to Jalen Williams. He has the ball defended by Westbrook. And, oh, a huge putback jam by Oklahoma. That's Herrenstein. And he has also been contributing very well. And the Thunder fans are very thrilled. And I think that's a timeout, Denver. And that better include getting Westbrook out of the game. He is absolutely useless. Well, since he's not here yet, I'm going to share my NBA Jam game. Here it is. Be Gary Payton and Vin Baker. Wonder who I'm playing. Playing the Houston Rockets, I'll play either Charles Barkley. Nope, I got Johnson and Barkley. I think it's Eddie Johnson and Charles Barkley. I really don't even know how to play this game at all. There you go. Vin Baker with the shot. Eddie Johnson dunks. And it looks like we are back from the break. Almost back from the break, so that'll give me some time. It is now 29-26 Oklahoma because Westbrook has completely been a huge liability. I think they got to get rid of that guy. Hartenstein is what his name is. Might as well turn on the Mariners game too. think I'm going to turn on the Mariners game. Because this game sucks, that's why. Because Denver is freaking useless, or shall I say Westbrook is useless. And now Denver gets the ball. Jamal Murray over to Westbrook. He's still playing Westbrook. Just why? And now you're going for three is Murray and air ball. What is Denver doing? They're just throwing the ball away because Caruso is just forcing all these bad shots. Why not make him the starter? Now here's a three by Oklahoma. Misses. Westbrook with the rebound. I believe that's his second rebound of the game. Westbrook gets it to Aaron Gordon for three, and he ties the game to make it 29-all. Alexander is, by the way, on the bench. Now it's Jalen Williams running point. Gets a screen. And now here is Hartenstein. They lose the ball for a moment. And now here's Caruso. Defended. Here's Hartenstein. Ball movement going. Here's Wiggins. And now he's going for the step back. And he makes it on the shot clock expiring. Now it's a three-pointer. What's with Oklahoma making all these lucky shots? Now here's Westbrook. Can we get a lucky shot back too? And here's Jokic, guarded by Caruso. And now here's a three-pointer. And no answer there. And that's going to be out of bounds. Possession, Oklahoma. And now here's Alex Caruso again. Now here's Dort over to Hartenstein. He's going to throw it up, and that's going to be complete air ball. And now Westbrook is running the point as he shouldn't. And he's trying to drive to the rim, and just, what are you doing? And that looks like he drew a foul. Westbrook has just been an absolute liability. Like, get him out of there and put back Braun in. Braun has been much more efficient. And Julian Swather is entering the game for Hartenstein. Looks like Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be coming back as well. Yep, Alexander is coming back. He enters in the game for Jalen Williams. It is 32-29 Oklahoma. It was very strange that Denver fired their coach, Moses Malone. Now here's a three. Very ill-advised shot. It was like with 14 seconds left. Now here's Alexander over to Wiggins for three. And it's going to be rebound. All the extra effort done by Oklahoma. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander gets it off to the corner, being defended by Murray. And here's Wiggins, again another three, and he misses. And Denver gets the rebound back. Here's Jamal Murray. And now here is a three by Michael Porter Jr. Not even close. And stop shooting the three-pointers. What are you doing? There's like no screens, no flow. And the foul by Westbrook. He fouls Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And now it's 32-29 Oklahoma. Now gets the ball back. Here is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and sets the screen by Wiggins, who's actually been contributing. Here's Alexander over to Williams again for three and misses. Looks like he's going to have to stop shooting the three. And now Gordon is now running up the paint, running up the ball. Now here is Jokic being defended by Caruso. What a big assignment for Caruso. He's trying to post up, just trying to draw the foul, and he does it. Count it and one, and Jokic is going to the line for a chance to tie the game, along with making it a three-point play. It's Jokic. He got the foul, and now he's going to the rim. That's what we need from a big man, not just shooting a bunch of stupid three-pointers, because that's all they do. And now here is Nikola Jokic. He has 9 points. He's been struggling 2 of 5. And now here's the shot, and he makes it. And now this game is tied. This has just been a seesaw game between each other. Alexander being defended by Murray and gets over to Holmgren. Thought of the shot, and now here's to Caruso. Fakes the shot, and is going to the left. And now here's a three-point attempt, and he makes it again. And Oklahoma with beautiful ball movement. You can't hate them. As much as I miss my Sonics. And now a turnover. Here's Caruso, and he throws it down with the dunk. And now it's a 7-point lead, but Aaron Gordon was pleading for a foul. He thought it was fouled. A little bit of a confusion, frustration going on with Denver. 7 turnovers, by the way, for Denver. And Westbrook is out of the game. Here is Braun for 3, and he makes it to bring it to within 2. So he just answers it right back, and Braun is the much more efficient player. They should be playing him over Westbrook because Westbrook he's useless. Now here's Alexander, thought of the 3, and now here's another 3-point attempt, and he misses this time. And I wonder who's that guy making all the corner 3-point shots. Here's Alexander. He draws the foul, and he's going to go to the rim. Going to go to the line. I believe the other guy is Dort. Yeah, Dort's the other guy. That was just an easy jam by Alex Caruso. Yep, Braun with the 3. It's going to be 37-35. And here's a free throw. And he misses. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander misses the free throw. (37-35) Oklahoma. Alexander, you surely just got to make that free throw. And he does to make it 38-35. And Braun was setting a screen for just a moment. Now here is Murray trying to get up. And he's being heavily defended by 22. Still defended, not much help. And now he's forcing the shot. It was a bad shot, but rebound by Gordon. Now here's Porter for 3. And misses again. He thought he had the open shot. It was not a good-looking shot. Here is Alexander. And now here's Holmgren for 3. Misses. And now Gordon with another rebound. Aaron Gordon with 7 rebounds today. Off to a very good... He's been rebounding pretty well. Now here's Jokic going one-on-one. He gets screened. And now here is Braun. He fakes the shot. Good idea. Tries to draw the foul. And he makes it. But there was a foul on the floor. So that means that shot will not count. Braun was kind of frustrated by it. He thought it was a shooting foul because that's what he was trying to draw. It was a foul on the floor. He was fouled by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And now they get the ball back. Here is Jokic. Doesn't have to shoot the 3. He should. He's trying to post up. Nearly loses. He loses the ball. That's going to be another turnover. That is turnover number 8. Now it's 3-point game. Now here's Williams for 3 and misses. Both teams have been struggling from the 3-point arc. Oklahoma at 17%. Here is Braun for 3 and rebounded by Gordon. And then trying to reset with 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Trying to set the screen. Now here's Gordon going to the rim, and he is fouled. Oklahoma is only 17% shooting, while Denver is at 25%, but they have 8 turnovers. It was a good screen by Jokic, and he got fouled by, I believe it was Alexander. Aaron Gordon with 8 rebounds. Chet Holmgren with 6. We got 2 personal fouls on the Gilgeous-Alexander going for the free throw, and he makes it. This has been a very close game. Dort enters the game along with Jamal Murray. No, not Jamal Murray not entering the game. It's going to be Russell Westbrook, and I am heavily against that. That's where the turnovers are going to happen. Like, why are they playing Westbrook? He should definitely not be playing right now. Here is Aaron Gordon, and he makes the second free throw to bring it to within a 1-point game. This has been a very intense Game 7. 5 minutes left. Here's Jalen Williams over to Caruso. Thought he had an opening. He's now being teamed. And now here's Jalen Williams who makes the easy basket. Gets around Jokic. Now here's Westbrook, the point guard, which, I mean, again, I'm going to tell you, this is a really bad idea. You're just going to be turning the ball over because he doesn't know how to take care of a basketball. Aaron Gordon is being heavily defended by Williams. And now here's Westbrook with a dangerous pass to Jokic. He misses it, gets his own rebound, and he tries to draw the foul. He doesn't get the foul. And now Oklahoma has a chance to extend the lead. Here's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going to the rim, and that's rebounded. That was a miss. Now here's Gordon. He's going to have to slow it down because Oklahoma has good transition defense. And do we have a foul? That's going to be fouled by Alex Caruso. It is now a 3-point game. Nikola Jokic thought he had the shot, but he was successfully able to draw the foul. The other thing you got to do is try to get Alex Caruso into foul trouble. He only has 1 foul so far. And I think it's going to be another 2 free throws for Nikola Jokic. Ten points for Jokic so far. And here's the first, and he makes it. 40-38. The Western Conference Finals will begin on Tuesday. A shirtless Oklahoma fan. And that is to make the second free throw. And he does. And now it's a 1-point game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is now running up the court against Westbrook. And he's going to get some easy lanes. Now here's number 22 with the 3-point attempt. He misses. And it looks like we got a foul. Looks like it's a loose ball foul. Dort was the one that drew the foul. I really wonder why they fired Moses Malone. It makes absolutely no sense why they did. Now here is number 22. And he makes the shot. That's going to be a 3-point game. And again, it's been happening ever since Westbrook goes onto the court. He has been causing the problems. Defensive liability, too much turnovers. Now here's Westbrook. Gets it over. Easy pass. That was blocked. Rebound, Westbrook. And Jokic trying to draw some screens. And now here's a 3. And they miss it. Maybe stop shooting 3-pointers. And that's going to be out of bounds. And that is going back to Denver. That was Watson who caused the out of bounds. And now someone's entering the game for Michael Porter Jr. I believe that is Jamal Murray. Got Jamal Murray, Braun, Watson, Westbrook. Westbrook really should not be playing this game. He's just not that good. He's way past his prime. Now Jokic with the ball. Now gets it to Westbrook. He's being heavily defended. Now here's Murray. And now he's going for the shot, and he makes it to make it a 1-point game. And this game has been going back and forth. And looks like timeout has been called by Oklahoma. Now I'm playing some NBA on NBC. Then Baker's been carrying my team. Ben Baker doesn't dunk like that. He has like the most boring dunks. Yep, I answered right back with a three-pointer by Gary Payton. Kind of unconventional day, isn't it, Steve-O?
Yeah, a little bit, bud. How are you?
Hey, just enjoying some NBA basketball. Actually enjoying some NBA basketball.
Absolutely. You know what's funny is, I take it that it's the halftime. I don't know.
It is actually, I think it was just a timeout being called. Yeah, we still have 3 minutes left in the half, and
okay.
And funny fact,
I just decided, I had some shit to do this afternoon, but that being said, I'm absolutely very sorry about Friday night. I was supposed to come on the Mariners stream, and it was an incredibly busy day. And I sat down on the couch, and within 15 minutes, I had fallen asleep. And then I saw your text the next morning, and I felt like absolute shit. So you were like, "Hey man, we're streaming the NBA," and I'm like, you know what? Not my cup of tea, but you know what though? I owe you one, so here we are.
I will take it. And now here's Jalen Williams gets it off to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. And now he's going for the floater. Alley-oop to Chet Holmgren. And Oklahoma extends that lead to 3, a.k.a. the former Sonics, the zombie Sonics, whatever you want to call them. And here's Westbrook over to Jamal Murray. Not much activity going on here. Is Jokic really the only one that sets screens on this team? He's being heavily defended by Caruso. And now here is Braun. He's trying to drive over, and Caruso's causing all these problems. Westbrook gives it over to Braun, fakes it for the 3, and he misses, but Jokic loses it, and now it's going to be out of bounds, and possession belongs to Oklahoma, and some of the fans are taunting Jokic as well. Jokic, one of the former MVPs of the league. Here's Jalen Williams over to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Williams for 3. And he hits it, and now that extends to a 6-point game. I will say the biggest liability on this team is the guy who used to be a playoff liability for Oklahoma named Russell Westbrook, and history tends to repeat itself, is that he is liability in the playoffs. Now, he turns the ball over again. That was Jamal Murray. Now here is now loses the ball, gives it over to Watson, and now here's Watson trying to drive to the rim, trying to draw the foul, and they miss it again. This is just sloppy basketball, and this is going to be an easy dunk by Jalen Williams, and now it's an 8-point game.
Okay, so I'm at 2:55 left in the second half, so you're a little bit ahead of me. But that being said, that was a nice little alley-oop right there. I have no idea who these players are, but I like the nice little screen right there. Okay. I see what you're doing there.
If I'm Denver, get Westbrook out of the game. Do not let him play. That guy turns the ball over more than anyone else. And all Oklahoma fans, they will remind you of that. Like, I feel like whenever he comes on, fans will actually cheer like, yes, please play. And us Sonics fans were like, no.
So Jokic is with the Nuggets and Luka is with the Lakers. Okay, gotcha. I can't keep track of these Serbian big men.
Yeah, although Doncic is Slovenian.
Whatever.
If you're really too lazy to say it, just say Yugoslavia, but don't say that in front of a Croatian. You can say it to a Serbian, but I don't think you can say it to a Croatian or basically everyone else. Serbia, they're like, yes, because we wanted Yugoslavia. Except ironically, Yugoslavia was started by a Croat, I think.
I love BC in the chat here. He's asking, remember the Supersonics? No. Who are they?
Yeah, is it what's this? I don't even know what this hat is. And
I gotta show you. Wait, now that we're on the stream, give me 3 seconds. I gotta show you something, okay?
Yeah, as he is showing, it's like timeout's been done. Here is Jamal Murray, and Oklahoma has been on a 7-0 run over the last minute and a half. Here's Jokic. Gets it over to, he's trying to post up, and he tries to draw the foul. He makes it, and that is now a 6-point lead for Oklahoma.
So I am not really a big jersey guy, but I do have to show you this. And this is
Kevin Durant.
It's the rookie jersey, and right here on the 5.
And Gilgeous-Alexander just made a 3-pointer.
And it is signed by Kevin Durant, his rookie season.
He signed autographs. And now a steal by Jalen Williams, and he goes for the jam. And now Oklahoma is just running away with this half as they has absolutely dominated. And you can credit to Alex Caruso for his defensive force, which is why he's still on the game. And now a ball lost again, another turnover by Denver. And now here is going to be the break, and Gilgeous-Alexander makes the shot. And now it is now a 13-point game.
And the reality is that so back when Kevin Durant was a rookie and he was not necessarily.
Here's Jokic trying to post up, and he loses it. Tried to draw the foul. I think he gets the foul this time, and I think he's going to the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Durant was a rookie, and he had he still had yet to live a full life of an NBA player. Outside of the Furtado Center, he used to stop and sign all the time. And my buddy Dave, I used to go with him because he used to try to get Kevin Durant autographs all the time. And so I just bought this jersey and I got him to sign it. And he was actually pretty cool his rookie season. I heard after they left to Oklahoma City, he stopped doing all that. So
as Jokic misses his first free throw. I don't think there's going to be any Mutombo magic for.
What? No Mutombo.
Well, here's the funny thing is if you want to get technical with shared history between Oklahoma and Seattle, and now looks like there's a foul.
And we don't share history.
No, but Greg Nichols signed it off. But
the last time we don't share history.
But here's the twist. The last time these two teams technically met in a decisive game was 94, Game 5. So Oklahoma can claim that history if they want. They can have that.
You know what? See, here's the
lying
thing.
Down, crying.
When it comes to our history, we share the good and we share the bad, right? So technically speaking, under that, they can claim the 79 championship, right? Even though it was never played in Oklahoma City. I don't think so. We share the good and we share the bad. Actually, no, we claim the good. Sorry, we claim the good and we claim the bad. We don't share.
Oh, you don't want them to. You don't want the Mutombo moment to have them to suffer with it. I do.
No, again, like the first round playoff loss against the Nuggets, the first round playoff loss against the Lakers. No, we keep it. We keep it all.
Jokic, he just cuts it to within a 12-point game, but there's only 14 seconds left in this quarter, or shall I say the half.
I refuse to acknowledge.
And now here is a shot, and he makes it. And now it's a 14-point game and only 2.8 seconds left. He's going to give it to Murray, and he might have to go for a full shot. He does, and does that go in? Nope, not even close.
So hold on. So this Alexander kid that traveled in the lane at 30 seconds and then got the ball knocked out, and so they whistled Denver for a foul, and he gets to shoot too. How does that math?
Because NBA rules are broken. That's why you haven't watched the NBA in a while.
That is very true. You got me there. This is the first NBA game I think I've seen since Game 7 of the 2014 NBA Western Conference Finals.
The only time it seems that, maybe do the referees want Oklahoma in the finals to get angry Sonics fans to tune in, because that means more ratings. But if Oklahoma wins the championship, is an expansion team included in the consolation? That's what I want to know.
Are they doing that to make Seattle angry for what? To what end? That's what I want to know, because
to tune in gives attention. It gets Sonics fans to cheer against the other team. So there's ratings there.
What I will say is,
or that Denver has like 14 turnovers.
What I think is that I think the generation of Sonic fans that were there at the end between 2000 and 2008, they've grown up and they're in our 40s, like myself. And there's been a couple generations since then that have grown up without the Sonics, and I don't think the
attention
really
won't be as significant.
Mm-mm.
But you do have a point that Gen Z, they were barely alive when the Sonics left, and Gen Alpha, they didn't even exist.
That's exactly
which is why my cousin has some Oklahoma gear.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like, I hold my Sonic memories right here. But that being said, would I love the Supersonics to come back? Absolutely, because it gives me an opportunity to go down to Detroit and watch the Sonics play the Pistons. That would be awesome. But that being said, it's like, what kind of NBA are the Sonics returning to? What I consider a watered down product that nobody cares about the NBA regular season. Nobody cares about the All-Star game. And everybody just waits to the playoffs. And even then, most people kind of wait to the conference finals, to the NBA finals, and then they'll tune in, right? So I don't know. What kind of, let me ask you a question real quick. Like, do you watch NBA regular season? Do you pay attention? Nope.
I may be going down to Portland just to get away. Oh, okay. Speak of, I actually do have a video between the whole Denver and the 94 thing. I gotta, it was about Mutombo and his passing, but I'll skip it straight to the Sonics playoff disaster.
Okay.
Although the Nuggets made it to the playoffs for the first time since 1990, they would have to go up against the top-seeded Seattle Supersonics, who were just one game away from reaching the NBA Finals in 1993. And this team was stacked with a great head coach in George Karl, Gary Payton and Sean Kemp as their main stars, and solid role players in Detlef Schrempf, Sam Perkins, Nate McMillan, and Kendall Gill. The Sonics would make quick work of the Nuggets, winning their first 2 games of the series, and they needed just one more to advance to the next round of the playoffs.
I heard the background, sweep, sweep, sweep. Did you hear that?
Oh yeah, we hear the sweep, but in the playoffs, you got to take one game at a time. If we can go to Denver and sweep and get some rest,
The Nuggets responded with a Game 3 blowout victory over the Sonics behind this amazing dunk by Robert Pack over Sean Kemp.
But still blocked the shot. Now a little more of that aggressive defense from Seattle, but Robert Pack dribbles right through.
And Reggie Williams scoring 31 points.
Corner, Reggie Williams, another 3! What is going on here in Denver?
To add more, Mutombo blocked 6 shots, which contributed to Sean Kemp struggling throughout the game, scoring 3 of 11. In Game 4, the Sonics controlled most of the game, maintaining a 63-58 lead going into the fourth quarter, and the Sonics held a 3-point lead with less than a minute to go. They had an opportunity to ice the game with Sean Kemp at the free throw line, but he would miss both free throws, giving Denver a chance to tie the game.
Defense pushing the Nuggets. This is the 3 and the tie.
Despite that, the Sonics still had a chance to win the game with plenty of time left, but Gary Payton turned the ball over to Robert Pack and nearly won the Nuggets the game. With all that, the game would have to be settled in overtime. In overtime, the Nuggets would dominate the Sonics 12-3, securing a victory and a series tie, going into Seattle for a decisive Game 5.
Ellis carries the ball and carries the Sonics.
With the Sonics and Nuggets squaring off for a decisive Game 5, all the pressure was on the Sonics because if they lose this game, they would become the first top-seeded team in NBA history to lose to a number 8 seed. The game would remain as a standstill, with the Nuggets answering everything the Sonics scored on them. Later in the fourth quarter, with seconds left, the Nuggets held a 2-point lead, and the Sonics would tie the game, forcing overtime. The Sonics had a chance to put the Nuggets away in overtime, but the Nuggets would outplay them, and they would win the game and the series as the first 8 seed to defeat a number 1 seed in NBA history.
Makumbo embraces the ball and the unlikely upset, one of the great upsets in NBA playoff history.
All right.
How does that feel? Do you still feel it?
Man, fuck all that. Screw all that noise. Yeah, no, I remember that vividly. Well, hey, by the way, was Michael Cage on that team?
He was.
I thought so. I thought I saw that that Jerry curl in that original clip, and I was like, Michael Cage.
And then it eventually turned to Bill Cartwright for like a split second for the 94-95.
I remember Bill Cartwright. So BC says he's seen 6 NBA titles, 2 World Series, 2 Stanley Cups, 1 Super Bowl, and 6 MLS Cups. I've seen 0 NBA titles, 0 World Series, 0 Stanley Cups, 1 Super Bowl, and 4 MLS Cups, in which we only won 2. So there you go.
Well, halftime's still going on, and I do have that NBA on NBC to stream. So with that, and yeah, and you know what? Maybe I'll just start over the game so we could. That never gets old. I actually use the NBA on NBC intro style.
I'm a big fan of that John Test jam.
Yeah, here was my version.
This is the NBA on NBC.
Never gets old.
Oh, yeah. What is it? The NBA Jam or what?
Yeah, it's like NBA Jam, but they put it as NBC. It was literally called NBA on NBC. Well, let's select the team. I mean, this is the game.
I remember NBA Jam back in the day with you can with the Sonics, and you can play with Peyton and Kemp.
Well, here is obviously I'm picking Gary Payton. Here's your other options: Horace Grant, Brent Barry, and Vin Baker. Let's go with the Vin.
Oh boy, I almost probably would have went with Bones Barry or Horace Grant.
Horace Grant would have been a decent option, and then they traded him away to get Patrick Ewing in that huge monstrosity of a trade. I looked up that trade. I thought they should just at that point just keep Horace Grant.
Look at these graphics, man. Holy hell.
This is the Dreamcast.
Oh, okay. The Sega Dreamcast?
Sega Dreamcast.
Are you actually playing the Sega Dreamcast right now?
Well, on my phone.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, you just got swatted.
Oh, we talking about practice.
Oh, dude, you just got played by Iverson. 3.
Yeah, that's the glove, baby. That's the halftime show. Ah,
who wasn't exactly the greatest 3-point shooter, but Oh, you got ripped by the answer, and now all of a sudden you're down by 4.
This ain't good.
3.
Oh, come on, Vin. No wonder nobody liked Vin Baker when he was on the Sonics.
Stolen.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you're getting ran now. There you go.
There we go.
There you go.
Pass the ball. Oh, goaltending. Oh, did I goaltend on Theo Ratliff?
Yeah. Oh, there was no foul.
Of course not. This is NBA Jam.
Boom shakalaka. There you go.
My dad was the biggest Vin Baker hater at the time. He hated that trade.
Because Vin Baker was, well, his first season in Seattle was pretty decent. That swatted. Theo Ratliff is just all over
Vin Baker. I mean, we're not talking 98 Vin Baker. We're talking post 99 lockout Vin Baker. There's a huge difference between them.
Look at this. So, dude, he just jammed it right down his throat.
I didn't take a shot off.
22-9 at the end of 1.
Controls are kind of garbage. That's my excuse. I'm being suppressed by my controller.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Oh, I made a full quarter. Of course, Ratliff makes that.
You just can't buy a bucket outside of like a half court. Look at that. They're just all over you. Oh, swatted and jammed.
Vin Baker swats when he wants to. That's all I can do. Yeah, playing against the answer is tough. Imagine if I played the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe.
Could it just be that maybe you're just not good at this game?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay, fair enough.
I didn't get enough practice. I literally just booted up the game this morning.
Oh, and then Vin gets the rebound, tries to push it up. And he gets swatted. Oh, nice move. Woo, Vinny. 360.
Come on, Vinny. Defense non-existent in this game.
Look at that. Look at that. Just that cheater video game dunk. Ooh, nice move. Nice move by the glove. Can they chip away? Nope. When you want to, you can't.
Oh, come on. You couldn't finish the steal. There you
are. I'm back. Sorry about that. I would hate to be an NBA coach. They get fired even when team is doing good. Devner coach also had David Blatt and Milwaukee coach. Okay.
Yep, it's true. They fired probably one of the best coaches in the NBA. Usually when coaches like that gets fired, it's usually for political reasons.
Didn't Home Dude win an NBA title with Denver too?
Yes, he did. Let's go with Brett Barry.
You're going to go with Bones here at half. It's good. Oh, wow.
So much for the glove.
I think maybe the last NBA game I watched was Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals when Cleveland got their first title.
I called that the last good NBA season. After that, everything went downhill in quality. 2016 was still decent.
Oh, Bones can't hit one. Oh, look at Bones. He's everywhere. Look at Bones.
Do you remember that old Sonics commercial when Patrick Ewing was like, "You need to read"? to succeed. And then Brent Barry just randomly pops and going, my favorite book is Harry Potter.
No, I don't remember that at all.
I somehow still remember
Jesus. that. God, they're just mucking it up, aren't they?
Wow. Maybe I should get Horace Grant.
You're just getting owned right now. Here's Bones.
Needed that.
Funny. That's so funny.
Ah. It looks like game might be back real soon.
Now to preface this, I didn't watch any of the regular season that year, but I was rooting for Cleveland to get their first title. Abort!
Abort the mission! Abort mission! Nope. Oh, a buzzer beater.
You're only down by 21.
Do I get a clap?
You do not.
Nope.
I can't believe you're just getting owned. What year is this? 2000, 2001?
1999, 2000.
Yeah, this is when Philly was actually really good.
Yeah, they traded for Kukoc away from the Bulls. Oh, speak of the game's back.
There you go.
Not like I missed anything because Denver's not good.
So OKC is
up
and
a
14.
steal, and here's the dunk. Didn't really have to do much. This could be just a Game 7 bye-bye-ness.
Wow. So, all right. So they're up by 14 at the half.
And they finally took out Westbrook. Thank God. Here's Jamal Murray,
Doris Burke, and Richard Jefferson.
What happened to Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson? Offensive foul. And Aaron Gordon could not believe it.
Yeah, you're way ahead of me on this one.
Here, I sent you. Here,
Okay. What'd you say?
Trying to see if that was a foul. Oh yeah, I sent it on your DM.
The StreamYard.
Not that one. Something else.
Yeah. Okay. It hasn't gotten there yet.
All right. Yep. Oklahoma was really calling for that offensive foul. It is now 62-46. And for anyone that cares about the Mariners on this stream, the Mariners are down 1-0 in the fourth inning.
So there you go. There's George Alexander. Is that his name?
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, or just call him SGA.
SGA, huh? Clever nickname.
He was part of the Paul George trade when the Oklahoma City Thunder had a Paul George. They traded him to the Clippers, and that's what got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and like 5 first-round picks.
There's the offensive foul right there. Wow. So they traded Paul George to get SGA, or the draft rights to him, or what?
No, it was they already had SGA, who was previously a first-round pick, and then they got like 5 first-round picks.
What was who did they trade with? The Clippers? Is that where he ended up? Okay. How did they get 5 first-round picks? How did they get the picks?
It's like 20. It was like 22, 23, 24, like that kind of trade. So Clippers mortgaged their future because they wanted to pair Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. And then Oklahoma traded away Westbrook to Houston for 5 first-round picks with some switches. So like first-round swaps. So that's why. Oh, a home run by Randy Arozarena. Mariners tied the game. They're trying to go for that sweep. They have to because they got to make up for the fact they got swept by Toronto and lost the series to the Evil Empire.
Interesting.
The Western Conference Finals will be interesting. it'll be either Denver or Oklahoma. It looks like they're reviewing the offensive foul to see if there was any legitimacy to that offensive foul.
Interesting.
Wah, 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 wah. Oh, Rowdy Tellez hits a fly ball to deep left field, and that was off the wall. And he's going for a double.
Rowdy Tellez.
He's been the boomer bust on that team. And we thought he was going to be a DFA candidate by the end of the month, but he's really been saving his job.
Still do think that's
Solano's the one that should be subject to DFA.
Solano.
They're still reviewing the call. So who is your all-time favorite Seattle Supersonics player?
My favorite Seattle Supersonics player was Sean Kemp.
I think I'll say the same.
Although I did have a profound like for Detlef Shrimp. Of course, Gary Payton, but yeah, Sean was my guy.
Looks like the call was upheld for a flagrant foul, so it looks like a flagrant foul does happen, and Oklahoma is just running away with this game. I mean, when you're Denver and you're turning the ball over 14 times to Oklahoma's 3 times, big surprise. When you don't take care of the basketball, this is the result. And what Russell Westbrook, I believe, was responsible for half of them. And 2 free throws have been made by Alexander, and this is now getting close to this is now an 18-point game. At this point, I just want it to be a close game. I almost don't even care. I just want it to be close.
In the honor of a game 7, yeah, you want this thing to actually matter. But that being said, it looks like Oklahoma City's kind of running away with this thing.
Yeah, and they're going to the Western Conference Finals against the Timberwolves. Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards, the baby daddy, and Rudy Gobert, Mr. I touched all the microphones. And now here's a fadeaway shot by Williams, and he makes it. And now the lead has now ballooned to 20. Now here is Christian Braun over to Aaron Gordon, who's got to make up for that flagrant foul. And now here's Jokic being defended by Caruso. Now here's a 3-pointer by Murray, and that is way off and rebounded by Gordon. And they're going to try this again with 14 seconds left on the clock, and he draws the foul. And it's going to be on the floor, so it's obviously not going to be a shooting foul. This Oklahoma team they're a really good team. They won 68 games, and all that rebuilding they did led them up to this. And now here is Porter for 3, misses, and now you can tell that Denver's just playing desperation mode when you're just throwing up 3-pointers after 3-pointers. And now here's Alexander. He's going for a step back 3, and he makes it. And now they have ballooned the lead to 23 and timeout Denver. Just like I'm getting blown up in NBA Jam. What's the difference?
Yeah, that is a good question. What is the difference? That's
much.
A good question. Ooh. Wow. So this thing is now a 20-point blowout.
23.
Come on, Denver. Let's go,
Denver. Mutombo, where's your magic? We need some Mutombo magic.
Doink off the back. Oh, there we go. Offensive rebound. Come on, Luka. There's a foul.
Now let's get back to my game for the fourth quarter for this one.
It's so funny. I can't believe that's so funny.
And getting absolutely just crushed.
And the NBA watch along for Game 7 has turned into a video game watch along because this thing just went absolutely the wrong way.
Maybe this is the curse.
Ooh, there's Gary with the 3. You're getting just 31-point blowout.
Iverson's saying, go back to practice. I don't need no practice. We talking about practice.
Practice. We're talking about practice. Not a game, but practice. That's so funny.
People like Gary Payton, they were great for the... Oh, that's how much I've given up.
Full court shots. Just going all Steph Curry.
I know that maybe we don't really watch much WNBA, but we've seen that Angel Reese she did a flop on Caitlin Clark, and then she tried to challenge her to a fight, and Caitlin Clark's like, I ain't having any of this.
Yeah,
there's a difference between them.
I saw a still picture of Angel Reese needing to be held back, and it's like, yeah, you're barking up the wrong chick.
Yeah, like Caitlin Clark's like, let my game do the talking, but Angel Reese is the one with the big mouth and talking about how much she pays her rent.
Oh, okay, so you do what every other responsible adult does. They pay their bills. Fair enough.
No, she's talking about how much she pays, like $8,000 of rent.
Yeah, well, then you need to move into something that's a little bit more affordable there, Angel. You're trying to have a champagne lifestyle on beer money.
Yep. Well, I just got my ass whooped. Ain't that great? I tied the season low record that was owned by the 1999 Chicago Bulls of 99. I just tied that record.
Yikes.
Oops.
So let's see. They were 50 and 32, 24 and 17 away. And they were 68 and 14, 35 and 6 at home. Okay, yeah, that's a good record for Oklahoma City.
My thing about Angel Reese, as much as she's crazy, I think it's what the WNBA needs. They need some kind of weird drop. It gets attention. So as much as she's crazy, you know what? I'm okay with it. If it helps get them ratings and get them eventually more pay, why not? Get more people into the games. Get more butts in the seats.
The thing about it was they had a built-in rivalry from college. This was Magic versus Bird the second time around, except you have except Angel Reese is not, happy like Magic Johnson was when he came out. But, Larry Bird was more of the quiet assassin types. Same thing with, Caitlin Clark. She doesn't necessarily talk a lot. She just lets her game speak for herself. And Angel Reese is the
big mouth.
Yeah, the one that just can't stop shutting up about it.
Now here's Jokic and gives it over to Michael Porter Jr. with the easy basket. The former was supposed to be Washington Husky. And,
really?
Yeah. And then Lorenzo Romar got fired, and then all of his recruits withdrew. And now we got Alexander. And there's a foul committed by Braun on Caruso. And Caruso has been the extreme difference maker for the Thunder. He is arguably the best defensive player in the league. It's a huge reason why Oklahoma had won 68 games. And your camera kind of pooped out. Caruso is 2 for 4. Now here's Alexander. He's being defended by Murray. Not much ball movement going on here. Is Chet Holmgren. Nice pass to Caruso, and that goes in. And now it's 71-48. And I don't know how Denver can make a comeback out of this. I don't know. But if you put up $10, what?
Didn't Chet Holmgren go to Gonzaga?
He did. And a jam by what's his name? By Braun. That's how much I don't watch the NBA enough.
Who?
Here's Alex Caruso. He's driving up and a nice pass to Dort, and he draws the foul. It's a 21-point game.
Yeah, this thing is. What's funny is it's a game 7, but I get the impression that the crowd is just kind of. They look like they're quite subdued.
Subdued?
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're all rowdy.
Well, they are. Well, let me see. Well, because the game's like a blowout now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. feel like it's
And
usually
this
like
is the free throw.
well, there's that asshole Sam Priesty.
Sam Presti. Yeah, but he's an evil genius asshole.
Doesn't matter.
Did you know after that Ray Allen trade, as Dort makes a free throw, he got the Suns to give up Kurt Thomas and a first-round pick for cash a month later after that Ray Allen trade, and that pick turned into Serge Ibaka. He got the Suns to do that. That is the trade of that offseason, not the Ray Allen trade.
Right.
And Murray makes a shot. And I think that was a three-pointer.
Didn't we get Kurt Thomas from like the Knicks or something?
No, from the Suns and that first-round pick for cash because Robert Sarver of the Suns was cheap ass. And he misses.
I remember
Aaron Gordon with the rebound.
Because I remember Kurt Thomas played for the Knicks at one point.
Yeah, with Patrick Ewing and Marcus Camby.
That's when Kurt Thomas was actually really good.
Yeah, and then he just got old. Nice screen set.
My guy from back in the day was Reggie Evans. You remember Reggie?
The Collector! I sounded like it was no other's business.
That's true. I also remember Vladimir Radmanovich.
How about Jerome James?
Yeah, well, he was actually good for one playoff, one season in Seattle, which when they won the Pacific Division and got into the playoffs, and he had a good season and a good first round, which led him to get that offer from the Knicks. But
here is Jokic. He's being heavily defended. Now he passes it over to Porter, trying to drive to the rim, having some trouble. Ooh. Here's Murray, and he throws up a three, and that is going to miss, and that's all they're doing. Oh, and Braun gets the ball back, and looks like that's a foul.
Triple
Braun disagrees.
3-ball. And that's off the front of the iron. Here come the Nuggets in transition. And it's the guy with the dreads.
Yeah, that's who the foul goes to. And Oklahoma gets the ball back. It is a 19-point game. Now here's Alexander. And he throws the ball back. And here is a three-pointer. And that is an air ball. Last touch by Oklahoma. And he gets the ball. And now here's a one on something. And he gets the jam. And Denver is starting to cut the lead. They have now cut the lead to 17 with 7:54 left in this game. Now here's Williams. He tried to go for the three, goes to the rim. Now here's Hartenstein, and he makes it. He has been a major factor as their center. Yep. I guess they call him the Frankenstein, maybe. Now here's a screen set by Murray or Jokic. Jokic sets the screen. And now here's Murray going for the three. They should probably stop shooting three. No, just no shooting threes. Yeah, there you go. And there you go. You actually got patient and go get the easy two. Not just
and that's why I absolutely hate it, because they'll just jack up threes even if they're double teamed. And it's like, dude, you have interior players. Use them, dude.
Use them. They have Jokic and Gordon that can be used interior. Now here's Jokic. And he loses the ball, and we have a 2-on-1. Here's Alexander, and he makes it. And now it's back to a 19-point game. Denver continues to turn the ball over.
Oh, that was a walk.
And now here's Jokic. Over to Porter, shoots for three, and that rattles out. And, if the threes are just not falling, maybe they should try to do something else. And a dunk by Oklahoma. I mean, don't you think that if you're not shooting, if the threes aren't going in, don't you think you should try something else?
See, that's why I appreciated George Karl and Phil Jackson, because it wasn't about just one primary scorer. It was about moving the basketball. You know what I mean? And it wasn't this ISO one-on-one horse shit that I'm watching right now. That's the thing. It's like basketball. That's the thing, is there's 5 players on the court, right? And one of the best ways in order to score baskets is making sure that your shooter is in a high percentage opportunity to make your basket. So sometimes that involves actually moving the ball around the court. But for whatever reason, it's this weird.
Credit to Oklahoma. They at least try to kept it balanced. They've at least been moving the ball very well. But Denver,
And
all
it's
they're
like-
doing is just throwing up 3-pointers. And I'm worried about Minnesota. They also tend to do the same exact thing.
And it's like, dude, you don't have a dude like Steph Curry out there who can actually do that in isolation, right? So it's like, do yourself a favor and just move the ball around the goddamn court.
That's
Ooh,
what
nice
they're
play.
not doing. Like, it's no wonder ratings have went down in the NBA. I mean, when you watch the All-Star game, just go on YouTube. It's painful to watch. It makes you go to 2001. You go to 2001 within 5 seconds, maybe even less.
You know, at least back in the 90s when you were watching the All-Star game, like, yeah, it was a showcase because that's what that was. But at least, you know, at least you actually had like one-on-one challenges on the floor where, you know, Jordan would D up somebody or somebody would try to D up Jordan. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it was
Westbrook
actually
with a nice pass over. Oh, and there's a
entertaining.
foul. Westbrook is back, so that pretty much may have sealed their fate.
Westbrook?
Yes. Westbrook started this whole turnover problem.
Are you talking about the same Westbrook that originally started his career with Oklahoma City?
Mm-hmm. He's on Denver now. And Braun misses the free throw, and this game 7 is really getting away real quickly.
So if Oklahoma City wins the NBA title, does anybody care?
I'm going to say this.
Except for fans of Oklahoma City.
Millennials may care. Gen X's could go either way because either they're going to be like, I don't watch the NBA anymore, or they'll actually be pissed off because they're so ingrained into it. But you're not going to hear a damn thing out of Gen Zs and Gen Alphas. You're not going to hear anything from them.
You know what, Gen Xers, no, like that's the thing. It's like we remember the Sonics for what they were, and this has nothing to do with Seattle or the Sonics, and it's like whatever, man.
Oh my God, Denver is just literally throwing up threes. Shot clock goes to 14. They have all this time, and all they're doing is just throwing up 3-pointers. I mean, look at Oklahoma. At least, you know, that's what they're doing. Oh, they missed the shot, but at least they're trying to get easy twos. Like, this game is just not watchable. Like, even with the fact that I'm cheering for Denver, it's still it's making. I've been glaring at the Mariners game to my left because of it.
So, who is the head coach of the Nuggets?
I have no idea. It's like some no-namer. It's like, you should have kept Moses Malone.
Does he get fired after this embarrassment?
I think he should, or at least they should look for another coach. And now here's Westbrook for 3. Oh, he makes it.
Is it even hard to get to a conference final these days in the NBA, or is it like relatively easy?
I don't even know anymore.
Ooh,
Westbrook's actually 2 for 3. Westbrook's actually 2 for 3 from 3, and now it's a foul ball. Not a foul ball. Foul. My baseball brain's still there. SGA, I think he's going to the line.
Jesus Christ, man! Stop jacking up threes.
That's why
this is a brick fest.
It is a brick fest. But again,
so
like,
here's
at least what?
Here's Denver's coaching strategy, right? So I want you to dribble down the court, and I want you to camp on the arc, and then whoever's out the ball, just jack it up. That's all I really want you to do.
That's all they're doing. They're not even like getting Jokic more touches in the inside. I've been seeing nothing but 3-pointers. It's been really frustrating to watch.
Yeah, this is
like
Michael
I think
Westbrook,
this is why Russell Westbrook. I think this is why Oklahoma actually has a really good shot to win, because all the other teams out there, they probably do the same thing. I would imagine that all they do is jack up threes. I mean, the Knicks, they have Karl Anthony Towns, but he literally is a 3-point camper. And Westbrook for 3 and misses. Big surprise. Like, and here's a 3-pointer by Oklahoma.
Yeah, there are other shots on the court that actually get you points that do not involve you camping behind the arc.
Literally, both teams are now just throwing up 3-pointers. Like, this is bad. This is just embarrassing. Like,
this is not basketball. What I'm watching on the
no, it's not. And here's a fadeaway shot. Just bad basketball. No flow, no movement. Now here is a transition. Now here's Braun, and he misses it, and Westbrook misses it again. But there's a foul. Like,
so
Yeah.
It's going to be Mavericks versus the winner of this one.
No,
And
Mavericks
then
are gone.
Oh no, the T-Wolves versus the winner of this one.
Yep.
And then it's going to be Pacers Knicks.
Basically a 2000 rematch when Reggie Miller was on the Pacers and Patrick Ewing was on the Knicks. That was the last time they met.
Who's the better team now, the Pacers or the Knicks?
You want to say the Pacers. If they have a better defense, depends who has a better defense. But Karl Anthony Towns, center of New York, but Tom Thibodeau is a defensive mastermind, they say. So we'll see. Maybe it'd be a close series.
Home dude just walked with the basketball, and there's another 3, and that was bricked.
And now it's a 20-point game. Christian Braun has actually been their only efficient perimeter shooter. And OKC brings it up. Here's Chet Holmgren. And now are they going to shoot up a 3? He looks like they're tempted to.
Jesus Christ, SGA.
And now they're going for 3. And he misses.
What was that horseshit? Is his name Braun? Yeah, Braun.
Yeah, Braun. And now I got Jamal Murray. They're still down by 20. Now screen set by Jokic, and Jokic has the ball. He loses the ball again, and we have a 2-on-1. It's probably gonna be an easy one. And Caruso makes it to make it a 22-point game. Like no wonder. Yeah, I don't get this. Like this is
I don't understand why refs are allowing these dudes to just walk with the basketball. And I don't understand this coaching philosophy of just like, oh yeah, that's
playing
cool.
ISO basketball.
Well, no, triple coverage. I'm still gonna jack up a 3.
Now here's another 3-pointer. And misses, but Holmgren gets the rebound and he's fouled.
Yeah, this ISO basketball. Well, and also there's no hand checking anymore. It's all zone defense. There's no man-to-man. There's no pick and roll. There's no triangle offense. There's no half-court traps.
Like, out of all teams I've been seeing that have played, like, more fundamental basketball is, ironically, Oklahoma. That's, like, the only team I'm seeing that actually does try to balance it out.
I haven't really seen it on Oklahoma's side. It's literally just, like, it's literally the same. They're just executing it better. To me, that's all it is. I've seen nothing but 3-point shots. The only time they actually will take it to is if they get an offensive rebound or they're in transition.
And we got Jamal Murray.
They're just executing it better.
Yeah, this
well, the
really
talent
hard to watch.
The talent is clearly on Oklahoma's side. You can just tell they're just talented.
And now here's a 3-point attempt by Watson. And it's like, again, why are you doing this? Like, they know that it's not working. And, yep, that leads to another easy transition basket. God, Alex Caruso with the jam.
It's just bricklayers, man. These aren't basketball players. They're Masons. All the bricks they're laying.
They're just throwing up 3-pointers.
Yeah.
And they're missing everything. And here's a floater. And misses. They're just rushing it. Like, I'm going to say it. My Special Olympics basketball tournaments was more watchable than this. I do have one guy that throws up 3-pointers, but at least everyone else isn't dependent on that. And the guy that throws up 3s, who's home dude?
Harden, is he still playing?
He's on the Clippers.
Oh, is he really? Okay. Is KD still playing? Is he still with the Suns?
Suns.
Interesting. Okay.
Now here's Jokic.
I thought KD would probably finish his career in Washington because he's from DC, and I thought he might just finish his career with the
Wizards are a dysfunctional organization. And finally, Denver makes a shot, and now that cuts it to a 22-point game.
Good movement, and Denver gets a guy wide open for a 3, and then he just absolutely just clinks it off the front of the iron. It's like, Jesus, this is embarrassing.
And a 3-point attempt. Oklahoma makes it.
We're in the third quarter, and it's 91-67. Oklahoma 91 points already in the third quarter.
Yeah, that's why it's unwatchable. And blocked by Westbrook, but fouled.
This is going to be 2 hours I'm never going to get back.
I feel the same. I wish I did the Mariners game. I thought I was going to get at least like maybe some Sonics fans going, F the Thunder. Nope. This game is...
we can always pivot to the Mariners
I'm
game.
kind of thinking about it, but that would seem a bit unprofessional. I mean, I have an idea. If the Mariners game is still going on, I will make a new live stream for it and then send it to you. And of course, the game won't count towards my 100 because the game's already past 5 innings. So of course it's not going to count, but it's for me to get some sound bites and just talk to people, really.
This is embarrassing for the Denver Nuggets. Yeah, by the way, this is not the 94 Denver Nuggets team with Robert Pack and
Mutombo, Brian Bison Dele, Chris, what's his name? Mahmoud Abdul Rauf.
Shareem Abdul Rauf.
Well, you're saying of Shareem Abdul Rahim. Now here's
or whatever.
Jokic gives over to Murray for 3, and they're missing the 3. Like, isn't the coach going to tell them to like stop it at some point?
No, man. This is what Denver does, man. They're just jacking up threes. No, not in this house. We're not going to be making no threes. No.
Let's bring that 94 Sonics against this team and see how that goes. And Porter, and now here's Jokic to take the 3. He was wide open. Yep, he makes it. That was more understandable because he was wide open.
Any of those variations of the Sonics team from 92 all the way to 96 smash both of these teams because they're far more disciplined. They're just better teams. And they would slow it down
by Murray. Yeah.
They would slow it down. The Sonics would slow it down and play a half-court game, and Sean Kemp would feast on all these soft
wussies.
Point forwards. And all these teams would do is just sit there and try to camp at the 3-point line. And, they would jack up 60 and then brick 3 of them.
Well, think about it. If we had a guy named Alex Caruso, he's just a role player. If he was playing defense on them, think about how much what Gary Payton would do to the likes of Jokic and everyone else. And Hawkins. And Hersey Hawkins.
What was that?
And Vincent Askew, just for craps and giggles.
Vinny Askew. Steve Scheffler.
Steve Scheffler could probably play in this league.
Yeah. Yeah. He would probably dominate the glass nowadays. and he was like considered like the role player back in the day.
That's why for some reason, he was well loved.
Was that Jokic with a rainbow 3? Yeah, sure was. 7 seconds left here in the third.
Look at all these y'alls in Oklahoma.
Is that a foul? Really? Because it looked like he just got rejected. But no,
if Greg Nichols actually watched basketball, he wouldn't have signed off on that settlement. That's all I know, but then you're going to say he used that lawsuit as leverage so he can get a little bit more moolah. And
no, he used the lawsuit to strong arm him out of the money. That's all it was about. It wasn't about preserving
saving
the Sonics.
team.
It was about getting the money to pay off Key Arena. That's why he did it.
And you probably pocketed a few out of it. Now, and at the game or the quarter is over. Oh, let me do my favorite part again. My highlight. That was the highlight of the entire game. And now they're reviewing a call. Well, they're trying to review if that was a foul or not right at the buzzer. Oh, boy. I actually considered, if Oklahoma made it to the NBA Finals, I actually was considering to do a live stream. I probably still will, but I'm going to say it's probably going to be like 10 lost hours of life.
I suggest that, you don't, you don't do these anymore.
What if it's Oklahoma versus New York Knicks? I mean, does the name alone can help?
The New York Knicks.
Or people
I'm
going to say, just go for your 100.
Oh, you should pull up that clip from Family Guy where Mega's got a package of hot dogs and she says, "I'm going to pretend that these are the New York Knicks."
Remember in Madagascar, the Giants I think the Giants sponsored they put themselves in that movie. Oh, hey, the New York Giants! New York Giants!
I don't think it really matters if the Knicks and the Thunder are in the NBA Finals because I don't really think anybody's going to watch it outside of New York and Oklahoma City.
And maybe Seattle. People like me.
I would probably assume that it's going to get a really, really, really low rating in Seattle.
Man, didn't realize.
So when was the year that the Thunder took the Golden State Warriors to 7 in the Western Conference Final?
Well,
14?
it was 16, and actually Thunder had a 3-1 series lead, and then Golden State came back. So yeah, if I did that series, I probably would have gotten booming views.
No,
it was
well, what was the year that it was? They still had Westbrook, Harden, and Katie on the team, and Steven Adams was their big man, and they went to 7 against them.
No. Harden was already gone by then.
Yeah, no, they went earlier. They went to a Western Conference Final like in 14.
It was 16. 14, it was against the Spurs, and they lost in the Western Conference Finals.
The Thunder?
Yeah.
That's it. So anyways, and all 3 of them were still on the team. And I remember that a lot of, because it was still fresh, because it had been less than 10 years since the Sonics had left. And so a lot of Sonics fans were tuning in to root against, the Thunder. But yeah, now I just don't think anybody cares. I think the last time Sonic fans cared is when Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City for Golden State, and then
they moved, and then they have, because it was a difference, because that was Kevin Durant was on the Sonics, but now everyone on this Oklahoma team is completely different.
Right. And so at that point, it was the last really, the last real connection. And so it was an opportunity to take one last shit on the Thunder before everybody was like, that's it. That's
what almost happened was Oklahoma nearly won. They nearly got to the NBA Finals, and it would have been the same year that the Street Vacation of Chris Hansen failed. So imagine if Street Vacation fails and Oklahoma wins the NBA title. That would have been pain. And then you would have had Deborah Juarez going, "Hey, it's okay. You have the Seattle Storm." It's like, no, just stop. That's not helping.
Nobody gives a shit about the Storm.
As a season ticket holder, that's actually the reason why I canceled mine, was because she said, "Oh, but you have the Seattle Storm. We have WNBA." It's like, that's not how you advertise a product that needs life.
Right.
Imagine if the roles were reversed. Hey, get over the WNBA being gone. We have the NBA. Imagine if that was being said by someone.
Well,
he'd be out of office.
And I think that really the Storm kind of had a little popularity there, like in the 2000s when Lauren Jackson and Sue Bird were kind of battling the LA, whatever the hell you call them, and they won that championship, and then they won it again, and then once I think Lauren Jackson kind of left, I think that
waned. I mean, there was Brianna Stewart, but then by the time she was there, the league was at its lowest.
Right.
So no one even cared to watch another dominating Storm team because the quality of the league was dead. It was like rock bottom.
And Brianna Stewart's with the
Liberty.
The
New York.
Knicks.
And now here is a 3-pointer by Braun, and he misses it. Westbrook with the rebound, loses it.
She was a dime, though. Brianna Stewart was kind of dimey. But that being said, it's like now there's the WNBA has a little bit of a comeback because of those two. But how are the Storm now? Are they Are they doo-doo or what? What are
No,
they good?
they're doo-doo. They traded away Jewel Lloyd, and they just drafted the number 2 overall pick. So
Who was that?
I don't even know, but I do expect them to basically have another rebuild season. They haven't
Oh, I
been this.
know you like to think your shit don't stink, but
The fact that I
really
even still know
does.
about the WNBA is insane. More than, but to be
Yeah.
fair, majority of WNBA fans are actually NBA fans.
Really?
Yeah, no one will believe that. Like most people think that. The thing is, statistically
Yeah, that's
speaking,
true.
statistically speaking, majority of WNBA fans are actually men.
Yeah,
It's not even women.
Yeah, no, and that was and Bill Burr had a pretty good joke about the WNBA. It's like, ladies, where are you? You know, where are you supporting the WNBA? Can you name at least one player?
Well, that's the thing. Like, you have all these mainstream media members by going, the WNBA players need to get paid more. And then you look at their Instagram, they don't even go to the games. They don't even know who the players are.
It's like, yeah, you will start getting paid more when you consistently sell out arenas for like 5 straight years. You know, when you actually bring revenue to your league instead of losing money every single year, to the point where the NBA doesn't have to subsidize you anymore. And if you can stand on your own 2 feet and continuously draw crowds and actually make TV companies want to pay you for your product, yeah, then you can start asking for money. But now it's like you can't do that at all because, yeah, it's like
Daniel Barry, come on, man. It's all right, buddy. As much as I'm a Sonics fan, I don't have that animosity because knowing that I learned about the politics of Seattle, Oklahoma was only the symptom of the problem. It was like the time when David Stern and Howard Schultz visited Frank Chop, Speaker of the House in Olympia, asking for a Key Arena remodel. And what does Frank Chop say? We are not subsidizing Ray Allen's contract. And that left David Stern a really bad taste in his mouth in Seattle. And that's why he ended up dying hating Seattle, unfortunately.
No, that's not true. He said that as he was leaving the NBA before he ultimately left as commissioner, he said his 2 biggest regrets were allowing Vancouver to move to Memphis and Seattle going to Oklahoma City. But at the time it was 100% collusion because those emails between Stern and what's his bucket showed Clay Bennett showed
a very close relationship.
Well, but it also showed a path of this whole thing was set up for the Sonics to ultimately be moved to Oklahoma City, and that's why there was a lawsuit to begin with because there was collusion. But that being said, that quickly ended up being a smokescreen. But that being said, it's like you know, it's interesting that he calls it a regret, considering he was the one that mapped out the entire. David Stern was the guy that mapped it out for Clay Bennett. And I don't. And here's the weird thing. Like, I don't necessarily blame Howard Schultz for taking the money. What I blame Howard Schultz for doing is when he bought it.
He looked for basically whoever was the first interested. He took it. No, regardless of where it was from.
Well, when he bought the Sonics to begin with.
Oh, a steal. And now here is Jokic, and now he's going off to Westbrook. He's trying to lose the ball, and in another turnover. Westbrook calls because he threw a really bad pass.
The funny thing is, like, he's a billionaire, and I'm sure he's acquired many different other companies along his journey. And when you buy something like that, you have your lawyers and your accountants vet it. And he probably already understood that the Key Arena lease was one of the worst in professional sports, that even if he sold out, he would still lose money on it. And you would think that upon buying it, you would, prior to buying it, you would try to renegotiate it at least so you don't lose money. But that never happened. And of course, it put him in a position where he had to ultimately sell. But the reason why Ballmer didn't buy it, because at the time, I'm sure that what's funny is I'm sure he probably put in an offer, but Clay Bennett was the one that offered him the most money, which was well over market value.
$350 million, and Howard Schultz made, I believe, $90 million in profit out of it. So he made bank out of it, considering how much he lost. And actually, this game is so bad, it's not even worth doing a play-by-play. It's like we might as well talk about other things.
Well, the interesting thing was, it's like, I mean, I'm sure Ballmer did put in an offer. I know that he was there at the end trying to rescue it, but I would be curious because he had always wanted to own the Sonics.
Westbrook missed a point-blank shot.
And I would assume that he did put in an offer when they were up for sale. But that being said, you looked at the valuation at the time. I think the Sonics were worth like $150 million at the time. And I'm sure that he probably put in like a 170, maybe at most a $200 million offer. And Clay Bennett offered him double. You're going to take the highest bidder.
All I can say is I just tweeted it. This Thunder Nuggets game has just been virtually unwatchable.
Yeah, it's absolute. Do you think the Blazers? No. Portland will never put the Blazers leave Portland.
And assuming expansion happens, we still need that I-5 rivalry. I still need an excuse to go to Vancouver to visit my cousins and my uncle, and to go to In-N-Out Burger.
That's funny because when family is not enough, you need an excuse to go to Portland.
Pretty much. I still remember when I was watching the Cavaliers Portland game as Jamal Murray gets it in there to make it a 30-point game. We were watching Cavaliers. We were watching Cavaliers and Blazers, and it was the game was basically similar to what we were watching now. And my uncle, he was just crossing his arms doing this. This game's bad. And my dad just kept screaming, box out. It was that bad.
Dude, I remember who was it? It was Vladimir Stepania. I would be at Keen Arena yelling at him. And it's like, dude, it's like he would set the pick and fail to roll. And me and my brother would just be yelling at him like, roll, you dumbass, roll.
21 feet of useless centers.
I remember it was the year after, I think Oklahoma, the Sonics left, and my buddy Dave was trying to get Kevin Durant's autograph. He had, gotten a hold of them on social media, and he thought they were cool with each other. And so we ended up down in Portland, and we ended up going to a Thunder Blazers game, and that was an odd turn of events. But that being said, man, the Rose Garden was actually a pretty cool little venue, man.
I've been there. I've been there about 5 or 6 times, and I wish I went to some Jail Blazers games when it was Scottie Pippen, Rasheed Wallace, Damon Stoudemire. That was a fun Portland team that would have been to watch. As
I think they called it I think at that point it was called like the Moda Center or something like that.
The Rose Garden. Now it's the Moda Center.
Yeah.
Man, like every time I try to get into the NBA, like it's like now it always reminds me why I haven't really gave much attention. Like the most attention I've been giving to the NBA in the last 5 to 10 years was my fantasy basketball league. I believe it or not, I still play that. And I actually I have one player that is looking to quit because of the quality of the league is dead.
Yeah. There's no way.
And I notice less and less players are actually checking their team. I have a league of 12 and less are checking. It got to the point where we already know who was in the playoffs. It was just a matter of the seeding. But everyone else just checks out after like a week or two.
Yeah, because I mean, what's the use of playing fantasy basketball if you don't watch basketball?
Yeah, and all you're looking at is names, and no, you're not even looking at the names. You're just looking at the numbers of like who's scored the most points in the last 7 days, who's getting the most rebounds, but you don't even look at their names.
Correct. Yeah, like I can't do fantasy sports anymore. I don't know. Yeah, let's see. I thought before he built Intuit Dome, Ballmer might move Clippers to Seattle.
So he didn't have to compete with the Lakers, but I think Ballmer wants nothing to do with Seattle because of what happened three times. He couldn't get Key Arena financed. Then the Sacramento thing situation went down. And when he couldn't buy, and I think him not buying the Milwaukee Bucks when he tried to, that was the ultimate death blow. Ooh, boy, do I really just want this game to end. Like, it's just not a good game to watch.
Sorry about that. I had to use the restroom. No, I think the issue was when I think Steve Ballmer got fed up. I don't think he is ever going to be fed up with the city itself. I think he got fed up with Chris Hansen and the whole Sacramento voter.
The red flag I noticed at the very critical sales meeting and relocation meeting. For some reason, Chris Hansen was there, but Steve Ballmer was doing his Microsoft thing. And the moment I heard that, I was like, yeah, we're done. It's not going to happen because they were both not even, I think they were done with each other at that point.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's funny the league didn't approve the King sale. Yeah, because at that point, what's his bucket?
Sacramento. David Stern didn't want another relocation, and Sacramento had put their end of the bargain by putting in another arena. So as soon as they approved an arena, there was nothing Seattle really could have done at that point.
Yeah, Cuban. You're absolutely right. That's the thing. It's like
Cuban wanted it to happen. The Lakers wanted it to happen too. Lakers actually voted for the relocation and the sale.
Yeah, but it had nothing to do with business, right? Paul Allen and Mark Cuban were the only ones that voted against it because they realized it was bad for business. But this had nothing to do with business. This had everything to do with
it was all politics.
Well, it was paying Clay Bennett back for the Hornets.
That's right.
And that's the thing. And that's the crazy thing. It could have been avoided if they just allowed the Hornets to stay in Oklahoma City. That's it.
And Oklahoma just at this point, they've pretty much won this game. Yeah, go ahead.
And I was going to say, because George Shinn 2 years later ended up selling the Hornets. So he could easily just bought in the Hornets, kept them in Oklahoma City.
And this is about to be a 40-point lead for Oklahoma.
Blowouts.
It's more than a blowout. I haven't seen a blowout like this. This is probably the worst kind of. The worst part is Denver knew that they couldn't make 3-pointers, and they still kept trying to jack it up.
Yeah.
They're playing like a bunch of middle school kids. I mean, that's exactly what was exactly like a middle school game. I watched my cousin's middle school basketball games, and guess what they do? Shoot 3-pointers at will. So even the youth, it's getting to the youth now these days.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. The days of fundamental basketball are over, and now it's just like what's trending now, right? So there's going to be somebody that shows up that is going to be TikTok or Instagram trending, and then all of a sudden it gets copycatted, and that's it.
Now,
LA finger red number one. Don't know.
There are a couple other interesting games I'm going to do. I'm going to do a couple of the Korea qualifiers, so I'll have you on that. And I think the only reason why I got the whole copyright thing because I was actually using FIFA clips for my countdown. And apparently you can't do that. Probably. Other than that, they didn't care.
I'm surprised for your NBA on NBC using the NBC logo didn't give you a copyright.
No, I even checked. I even uploaded on other like sub channels, and they're all, yeah, go ahead.
That's wild.
Maybe by next season when NBA on NBC is back officially, maybe they'll start being like, okay, you can't do this anymore.
Right. Yeah, I would probably assume.
But rule of thumb is as long as it's like less than 15 seconds, they really don't care. But when it's FIFA, you can't even do 1 second of a guy breathing. Like the NBA, like NFL doesn't care about my countdown video style. MLB obviously doesn't care, but FIFA, oh, they'll take you to the.
Yeah. Well, and it seems kind of funny that FIFA would have a problem with that. But that being said, it's understandable. Some are a little bit more gung ho about their copyright than others. Now it depends on if you were like really profiting off their likeness, there would probably be a very big problem. But that being said,
yeah. So I guess as soon as if I get bigger, then they might be like, okay, you can't use that NBC or you can't use that countdown video anymore.
Correct.
Sorry, buddy. Unless you're at worst case scenario, it'd probably be copyright claimed, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
If it's for my
yeah.
As long as they're not striking me, then fine. Oh, wow. Oklahoma made another 3, and they're about to have a 15-point. No, it's still almost 40. It's going to be about a 40-point lead.
When is OKC going to empty the bench and just allow their scrubs to come on in?
They already did.
Oh, did they? Okay.
And so did Denver.
That was bad.
This game has been just embarrassing. This is probably the worst. This might be the worst NBA game I've ever seen in my life. I think it's up there.
And I think Aaron Murray just had a wide open 3 that he bricked.
I think another bad game I saw was Game 5 between the Celtics and the Cavaliers when they called it the LeBron quit game. That one was really bad, and because the Cavaliers were just jacking up threes, not even like doing picks or anything. But Celtics, they were playing just beautiful fundamental basketball, and they just took advantage of everything the Cavaliers messed up on.
I remember when LeBron came back to Cleveland, and they got Kevin Love and Kyrie.
Yep, that was actually a fun team.
Yeah, that was actually not a bad team in Cleveland.
And then Dan Gilbert basically pissed off the entire organization, pissed off everyone. He pissed off Kyrie Irving, and then he pissed off LeBron James.
Did he?
Yeah, Dan Gilbert pretty much ruined the whole thing. It got to the point that even Cleveland fans became understandable of him leaving.
By doing what? What did Gilbert do to piss him off again?
I mean, it's not really clear, but Dan Gilbert's been known to upset personalities.
I just thought he was like, because I think he only signed like a 3-year deal or a 4-year deal, and so I think
very small deal.
I think LeBron came back just to get him a championship, and then he bolted to the Lakers. But I thought for sure that LeBron, because I think LeBron now is just signing 1-year deals to close out his career, and I thought that he would go back to Cleveland to do his little victory lap.
I think Cleveland didn't even want him. They wouldn't have even wanted him back because they have a pretty young, solid core. So it's like, why even bother at that point?
Well, but that's
maybe
the
to win
why,
to win a championship, sure.
No, I was going to say just that's the thing is he can go back to Cleveland, do his little victory lap, and say goodbye to Cleveland and close out his career, while the rest of the team just carries the weight, and LeBron can just play 20 minutes a night or whatever, and just do his little farewell tour. Without
game is about to end in about 5 minutes, and everyone's just shooting threes at this point. And right now for the Mariners game, it is the top of the 7th inning. So once we get onto the Mariners game, and I'll send you the link to that, we'll have about probably 2 innings worth of Mariners game to do for a 4-1 game. You never know if it gets
Who's
more
winning?
intense. Mariners are winning 4-1.
Who are they playing?
San Diego.
Nah. We don't need to do a stream for 2 innings.
If it was 1-1, you would have done it.
Maybe.
Yeah, would have.
Looks like they got that one in hand.
Who knows? I'm probably still gonna do it because you just never know. Things happen.
Never know. You just never know.
But it's safe to say that this game, I
is
want
over.
I want my 3 hours back. That's what or 2 hours back.
OVER. So they advanced to the Western Conference Finals.
For the first time since 2016, they will be playing the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Let's go. T-Wolves.
Also, the
Let's
Wolves
go.
are also a 3-point happy shooting team.
Let's go. T-Wolves. That would be something if the T-Wolves pwned them like in 4.
Nah, that won't happen.
3.
I'm trying to see NBA stats. I want to see like who shoots more 3-pointers.
Oh. 3. Brick. Rebound.
That's all they do.
Foul. Yeah, like
The
you
most
can't,
three
like,
Cleveland Cavaliers shot the most 3-pointers. Oklahoma is actually 4th in 3-point attempts, and Denver is actually around the 10. So ironically, Oklahoma just happened to do it better.
Oh, look at them. Look at them sad nuggies.
Well, maybe don't throw up 3-pointers again like that.
Maybe actually get yourself a coach that actually is going to, adjust mid-game and figure out a way to actually score points instead of just, I'm going to come down every single time and jack up a 3.
The least 3-point shooting team in average is the Houston. Wait, not the Houston. Oh, this is in playoffs. Let's go to regular season. So the most 3-point shooting team in the NBA was the Boston Celtics. The least shooting was actually Denver, ironically. But then Denver decided to go away from that.
So it's the Knicks, Pacers, and then it's going to be the T-Wolves and Thunder.
I think
By the
many
way,
are
what? That's the dumbest name for a team, too, the Thunder.
Anything worse than that? What about the Kraken? Kraken or
That's
Thunder?
pretty bad. Both are pretty bad. Kraken's worse, though.
Yeah, it's not even like the Thunder are even marketable. The only reason why they've been marketable is because of the players they've had. Imagine if they actually had a better name. And if I guess Oklahoma was a better market, which more people are moving to Oklahoma away from California and Washington, at least because it's cheaper.
Damn, the Kraken had a bad season, didn't they?
They did. And Denver has the ball, 40-point, whatever. And they're still missing baskets, and Oklahoma gets the rebound. This game is embarrassing to watch.
The Utah Hockey Club? That's a funny name for a team.
Wow, 2 minutes left. So much for a Game 7. This has been a very embarrassing Game 7.
100%. Okay, so
most will say that I should have done the Mariners game.
Yeah.
Even a dead Mariners game, like let's say, like even a Mariners game, like in the middle of like whatever, they would have been like, "Yep, still do the Mariners game," even with like none of their core players.
Okay, so Edmonton versus Dallas. It looks like
actually, flip side is if San Diego can't score any runs, maybe I won't even do it at all. That's where I'm leaning towards. Now, if it goes to extras, I might do it. And a 3.
Yeah.
Like this game literally drained the hell out of me. Yeah, still 4-1. And Julio just advanced a runner to third base.
Who's pitching for the Mariners right now?
According to the Mariners, Wu is still pitching.
Oh,
Wu's on 76 pitches.
Look at Wu.
And the game is only 43 seconds left.
No, I gotta admit, well, regardless, once it's over, it's over. It's a brick. God, this is for the last hour. This has been one of the worst exhibitions of basketball I think I've ever witnessed.
And
125, it's 125-88.
And people are still wondering why ratings have went down in the NBA.
They're about to lose by, 40 points?
Almost.
Wow. I thought we were going to see a 3. That was way downtown. Okay, so now it's 30.
And the game is over. Oklahoma has made it to the Western Conference Finals for the first time since 2016. They will be squaring off against the Minnesota Timberwolves in, what was it? On Tuesday. So there's that. There's not really much to say about this game. I mean, Alex Caruso was the difference maker. Russell Westbrook turned the ball over, and Denver just kept throwing up threes, and Oklahoma was like, okay, thank you, throughout that entire game. I mean, do you have any lasting thoughts, or do you even have any inside jokes on this game?
Nope. This was bad. It just reinforces the idea that the NBA has fallen so far down, the entertainment poll, to the point where it's, a game set. This should have been a down to the wire type game 7 where, that's usually what you get. But
it was going like that.
But this thing pivoted, and it just became one of the worst games.
It was one of the worst. I think it was. I think it's up there.
It's got to be.
Well, the Mariners just got out of their inning, so now it's going to be the bottom of the 7th inning if you have any juice left for the final 3 innings.
I'm going to call it good, my guy.
All right. Well, I'm going to call it too, because this game was nothing but depressing to watch.
Yeah, it was interesting to say the most. So, but yeah, it was fun coming on, man. I really enjoyed the banter. The basketball was something left to be desired, though. So,
basically, we were just talking about Sonic's history, Denver history, Mutombo, me getting whooped in NBA Jam.
That was actually entertaining to watch. Theo Ratliff absolutely just go Super Saiyan on Vin Baker. That was actually quite entertaining, to be honest with you.
That probably actually happened in real life too.
It probably did. It probably did once Vin left the Sonics. Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah. Well, that's gonna do it. Just wanted to say thank you very much for watching. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to some NBA basketball. Hopefully the NBA gets better after that, because I know it won't. What a joke of a game. Yeah. Anyways, everyone, good day. Bring back our Sonics.